Hey, what is up, mortals? It is JSatwekar here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Hey mortals, today we'll be tackling an anime theory. For this theory, we'll be looking at Muzan Kibutsuji from the Demon Slayer manga and anime series, and tackling just how he became a demon. We'll also be talking about what inspired his abilities and origins, as well as parallels in other manga and in folklore. We'll be covering lore covered in the anime and manga, as well as any possible inspirations for Muzan in Japanese culture and folklore. So spoilers ahead, you've been warned. Muzan Kibutsuji was the 1,000-year-old king of demons in the Demon Slayer franchise. As the king of demons, he had many powers and abilities and had a large impact on the series. If you haven't already or need a refresher, I'd suggest you read the Muzan deep dive we've made. To summarize though, Muzan was born sickly and had multiple run-ins with death, but the intervention of a mysterious doctor caused Muzan to gain immortality and transform into a demon. Unfortunately, we don't know the specifics of his treatment as the doctor was killed by Muzan, and he himself never spoke of the treatment other than the fact that it included the use of a flower referred to as the blue spider lily. Muzan's life was expected to end at 20, and in his desperation, he accepted the help of a mysterious unnamed doctor. Upon the beginning of his unspecified treatment with the blue spider lily, Muzan grew impatient, killing the doctor for what he felt was a failed treatment. Muzan shortly thereafter realized that the treatment was successful somewhat, as he gained a superhuman body resistant to all forms of harm. This celebration was short-lived by the discovery that he was weak to sunlight and craved human meat and blood. His addiction to human blood was not a weakness he resented, but he could not stand not being able to stand in the sunlight. Because of this, he spread his curse to others to have them help him search for the blue spider lily, uncaring of the destruction and pain he caused on his path to immortality. Ironically, blue spider lilies were discovered 100 years after his death, alongside with the knowledge that they bloomed about 2 to 3 times a year, but only under sunlight. A great irony, as Muzan had no human servants, as he looked down on all of humanity, yet they would have likely been the only ones who could have been the key to his salvation. Before getting into the theory, we need to explain some of the mechanics behind the type of monster Muzan is. While Westernization refers to Muzan and his spawn as demons, they are referred to as Oni. Oni are a type of yokai in Japanese folklore, normally depicted as large, hulking humanoids with any amount of horns and skin of different hues. They are often depicted wearing tiger or other animal pelts in artistic depictions and preyed upon humans in the mountains and fields. The demons, or Oni, in Demon Slayer are all former humans who now boast superhuman strength, agility, and resilience, often traded for a brutish intelligence. The demons, for that reason, don't bear any similarities to the Western Christian understanding of demons, and are rather more similar to the idea of a vampire or ghoul. This coincides with the understanding of Oni and yokai in general, who often in folklore take on humanoid appearances to trick and kill and eat humans. If the demons are Oni and yokai, Muzan is an equivalent to their mythical leader. Shuten Doji bears many resemblances to Muzan. Both are extremely powerful, expert shapeshifters and have used their transformation ability to transform into a woman at times. They also share somewhat similar deaths. Shuten Doji, while not killed by succumbing to the sun, died by beheading after being drugged with poisoned sake, but had been so powerful that despite his beheading, he had attempted to bite off the head of his assailant before death. In parallel, Muzan was able to live even after decapitation, and he had to be exposed to his true weakness of the sun for several minutes before finally succumbing, and only after suffering from 4 poisons concocted for him specifically. The big difference, however, being that Muzan was manufactured, while Shuten Doji was understood to have been born or made a demon from the beginning. In that way, Muzan's story is also similar to the story of a demon yokai in another story about killing demons with swords, Inuyasha. In the story of Inuyasha, the main villain, Naraku, was born human but turned into a demon through a brutal ritual of his own design, transforming into a Hanyo, or half-demon. In that series, he searched for Shikan no Tama, a jewel with the power to make him nearly invincible if completed, and with which he would purge his half-human self from his body, becoming a full demon and in thought all-powerful, which was very similar to Muzan's search for the blue spider lily, which would be the key for his immunity to the sun. Naraku, like Muzan and Shutendoji, had transformation abilities, which were used at least once to take the form of a woman. Many of Muzan's minions also bore similarities to spiders in one way or another, though this is more in tandem with the several types of Japanese spider yokai over any direct tie-in to Naraku. Interestingly enough, Naraku had succeeded in his goals but ultimately died, while Muzan died before achieving his goals. With similarities and possible inspirations out of the way, we can tackle our theory with full force. But before we get back into the theory, I would like to say that in case you guys didn't know, we are a secondary channel to our main channel, We the Celestials. We the Celestials is full of fun what-if stories. If you have the sugar tooth for great storytelling, please give that channel a visit as well. If you are interested in the content we share with all channels, make sure you click the icon on the top right corner or check the description below for a link to the channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the dive. Blue spider lilies. Not much was known about this flower, and other than its rarity and supposed mystical properties. And if you look it up, the blue spider lily doesn't exist. What does exist, however, is the red spider lily. They are prominent in Japanese, Chinese, and other East Asian folklore, and what you might learn about the flower might shed some light on Muzan's treatment. Red spider lilies, scientific name Lycoris meaning twilight and radiata symbolizing any object with individual outcroppings of circular circumference, like a jellyfish or sea star, are a species of flowering plant native to China, Korea, and Nepal, later introduced to Japan. It has an importance to the people of Eastern Asia and carries a significance, symbolizing the passing of seasons and death. The plant goes by many names: hellflower, red magic lily, equinox flower, and sometimes hurricane lily and resurrection lily. They often bloom during late summer and autumn, and normally bloom well in response to strong rainstorms earlier in the spring and summer. Its bulbs are poisonous, and this poison is commonly used in Japan as a means to keep away insects and mice and other pests. This poison, if taken in large amounts, can be deadly to humans. Culturally, the red spider lily often symbolizes final goodbyes of both the literal and spiritual sense, with Buddhists writing that signified its importance as such. Many Buddhists did, and still do, honor family and important people culturally by visiting their graves and offering red spider lilies. The lilies themselves were thought to grow in order to aid the death in passing unto the afterlife, and giving them to those who were still alive was considered an insult and bad fortune. In that way, the fictional blue spider lily can be seen as the opposite of its red counterpart, binding those destined to die to the world of the living while symbolizing a reversal of nature. The fact that the red spider lily is poisonous adds to the theory. Muzan's blood, while capable of transforming others into demons, is also a highly potent poison that he slowly tortures his enemies with. It is very likely that this poison is the pain Muzan felt when first taking the doctor's treatment. Pain enough to kill the man in a rage before realizing that the cure had begun to work. Symbolically, the use of the blue spider lily helps inform Muzan's and the majority of the demon's characters. The red spider lily, in symbolizing final goodbyes, could be seen as a symbol of acceptance of fate and of understanding one's own mortality. By virtue of being a demon, Muzan and his minions reject that notion outright, fighting to stay alive, no matter how dirty or grimy they must become to do so. This is why the demons often question the persistence of their human demon slayer enemies, attempting to bargain, threaten, demand, bargain, and run when their lives are truly at risk, doing everything they can to prolong a fated death. This is a deep symbolization of fate versus defiance in the Demon Slayer series. Tanjiro has to prove to other demon slayers that his sister Nezuko still retained her humanity, defying the fate of a demon and a demon slayer encounter. Nezuko proved this humanity, putting her life on the line, something the demon Ryu desired but could not get from his pseudo-demon family, but could never achieve due to the inherent nature of demons that he himself actively indulged in. Muzan too had attempted to defy fate when he took the treatment from the doctor, and in doing so became nearly unkillable, until his impatience and ambition in defying his fate led to his end. So, in theory, while the exact nature of the experiments is unknown, the use of the blue spider lily and its nature of being integral to the treatment of Muzan tie direct parallels to the nature of the real-world red spider lily as its symbolic and functional opposite. With red spider lilies symbolizing a path to the afterlife, the blue counterpart can represent a path back to life, or a blockage, stopping those who would have or should have died from passing on. In regards to why demons must consume humans, the closest Western equivalent to Kimetsu no Yaiba's demons would probably be the vampires. Vampires are intelligent, undead humans who had their blood drained by a vampire and rose back from the dead, hell-bent on consuming the blood of others to sustain themselves. They had a weakness to sunlight, burning into ash, much like the demons of Demon Slayer, and often lacked human emotions like empathy, mercy, and kindness. It was believed in Western folklore that one's soul was tied to the body, and that by consuming the blood, a vampire was capable of stealing the life force of the innocent. Vampires, for this reason, were on borrowed time, as their immortality relied on the consumption of humans on a regular basis. Muzan's extended life force and need to consume humans can also be explained by yokai in general, the most malicious of which consumed humans to gain power. There was a tale of a fox yokai concealed as a woman who had 8 tails. She attempted to slay and eat her last human to gain her 9th tail and immortality. Ultimately, this is just a theory, but at the least we hope you find it plausible. No matter what, though, it is extremely interesting thinking about how demons came to be, and how Muzan was likely so close to true immortality not once, but twice, but lost it due to his own impatience, arrogance, and selfishness. Thanks for listening in, and I hope no one sends you a red spider lily anytime soon. But if someone sends you a blue spider lily, take care that you let them finish their treatment before you do anything crazy. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now, there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the descripts. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you'd liked the video. Also, if you liked this video and would like a continuation, let's see if we can get at least 30 likes for the video, and we'll have a continuation ready. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day.